Hey everybody, Christine at Heart of the Valley Travel, and I'm here to walk through our Discover and Explore France of 2025. And my intent is actually to kind of just walk through the trip with you a little bit and hopefully inspire some of you to come along with us. We don't have very many cabins left actually, so by the time I'm done with all of these little series of newsletters, we will likely be sold out. So if you are interested, I would encourage you to reach out to us because I would hate for you to wait till the end and then you can't get a cabin and you're interested in going. So, but anyway, let's get started. I guess our first, the beginning of the trip, we're going to get on a bus and get down to Chicago because I've got us booked on Air France nonstop to Paris. I have a little bit of a history there in the newsletter on Air France, and you actually can click on a diagram of the aircraft that we'll be flying. Now we've got economy class booked right now, so the economy or main cabin. We can offer you business or premier class seating, which is obviously offering more leg room, a little bit of an upgraded service. And so if you are interested in that, if you are currently booked, let me know. I can give you the details. Business class tends to be thousands of dollars more, whereas premium isn't quite so much. So just a heads up on that. But totally can check into it for you. And if you elect to take it, I can get you set up on that as well. So as we fly over the pond to Paris, you will be fed. They will be feeding us meals throughout the duration of the flight and snacks. Remember, they have complimentary wine and champagne as we travel, so you always can enjoy that as well. But yeah, it should be a lovely, lovely flight on Air France. I love that it's nonstop. So, and I hope you do too. It's about an 8-hour flight, 7 hours and 55 minutes to be exact. But then we'll be right in Paris, get off the plane about 8:10 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, clear customs, immigration, all that good stuff. And we will find our guide who will then bring us to our private bus. And we are going to start right away and do some sightseeing in Paris. So we'll do a little bit of a, bus drive around tour. There is an area that we're going to stop called Montmartre. And I'm saying it wrong. I know I am. I have to practice my French, you guys. But this is I loved this area when I was in Paris. The Sacré-Cœur, Basilica Sacré-Cœur sits up on a hill. And the area is kind of, when people talk about it, they consider it kind of like its own little village within Paris, the big city of Paris. So that's pretty cool. But when you're in the area, walking around, sometimes you can feel a little discombobulated because there's a lot of narrow, winding streets, which makes it really kind of cool. But the area is kind of set in a triangle in that the Sacré-Cœur would be at the top. And I have a map on the newsletter. That's why I put that there. And then the boulevard on the bottom is kind of obviously the bottom of the triangle. But if you're wandering the streets, somehow if you come to the middle, you'll always be able to look up to where the church is, the basilica is, and hopefully find your way. Because most people, that's where we're going to head up to and hopefully get some pictures. It's a beautiful area. This is where all of the, artists, you're going to find tons of, I have some notes here, but you'll have people there doing watercolors, portraits, sketchers, how do you say that word? Characteristics, where they do your face in a character. Anyway, they will be around. So that's always a fun little thing to watch them do or have them do. But yeah, like Picasso, Van Gogh, Duran, there was even cafes and things in this area. Hemingway was. So like, a lot of history in this little area in Paris, which we're going to see. when we arrive. So I'm really excited. I hope you like the map that I included. It's I loved the layout of it, and it gave a nice depiction of kind of where some of the highlights are. So I hope that's helpful as you look at this very first area we're going to visit. After we're done there, we will be driving down to where the Notre Dame is, and we're not going in or anything, but then we'll go to see Notre Dame because then it's on the way to our hotel. So, but we're not going to our hotel yet. We're going to a cafe to have lunch. So somewhere along that route, we're going to have lunch at a cafe. So then obviously get off the plane, do some sightseeing, have some lunch, get our bellies full. By then, it's going to be early afternoon. Some of you may be getting tired because that travel time and travel day is just that it's tiring. So that's why I have planned that we'll head to the hotel, get checked in, and then you have the evening at leisure. So if you're tuckered out and you need to hit the hay and get some rest so that we can hit the ground running the next day, great. But you also will have the option, obviously, on your own to do some additional sightseeing and such. So I'll get timing on that. So if anybody has anything specific that they wanted to take in yet that evening, that I can give you a heads up on when we'll be to the hotel, at least an approximate time. So, so that day is going to be full. I mean, obviously it's the travel over and then a little bit of sightseeing, beautiful lunch, get to the hotel. Our hotel has a rooftop bar, which hopefully should be opened. I guess unless it's inclement weather of some sort, but that might be nice too, to have a nice cocktail up on the rooftop bar, and then we'll have views of the city. So with where our hotel is located, I do have a link on the hotel website as well on the newsletter, so you can see that, and a little picture of from the rooftop bar to give you a view of what potentially we'll be seeing. So that's really fun too. So then that day is kind of pulls together our the jumping off point of our trip. And I will be back at you next week, Friday, with another newsletter to talk about the next couple of days leading up to us getting onto the river cruise. All right. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for joining me. See ya.